Over a decade after the death of powerful gangster Anthony Fat Tony Salerno, two Genovese crime family mobsters began muscling in on his son's business. Let's check it out. I'm James Gladwish and welcome to OC Shorts, bringing you detailed historical snapshots of the American Mafia and other organised crime. Feel free to subscribe if you like that sort of thing. Today, we're going to take a quick look at the time when two Genovese crime family mobsters tried to muscle in on a business belonging to the son of Anthony Fat Tony Salerno. In around 2005, Peter Peluso, a mob lawyer, became a government informant after he was implicated in the disappearance of Genovese crime family mobster Ralph Coppola. Peter Peluso had been a lawyer for the Genovese crime family and would furnish the FBI with information about family business, as detailed in an FBI file. In the document, Peluso is referred to as the Individual. The file states, Individual was born and raised in the East Harlem section of Manhattan. Over time, Individual became acquainted with various individuals who were known to be involved in organized crime. After graduating from law school and providing criminal representation for various individuals from the East Harlem neighborhood, Individual began to represent more and more kids from the neighborhood, some of whom would be referred to Individual by Fat Tony Salerno. Over the years, Individual became closer to Salerno and came to know Salerno and Ben Lombardo, Philip Lombardo, to be high-ranking members of the Genovese family. Peluso had also on many occasions been used by mobsters as a messenger, especially for those who were incarcerated. Peter Peluso had a close relationship with future Genovese crime family boss Liborio Barney Bellomo, a relationship that went back to when Bellomo was a teenager. Peluso would tell the FBI, Individual advised that Individual first met Liborio Barney Bellomo when Bellomo was approximately 17 years of age. Individual advised that Bellomo's father asked Individual to represent Bellomo after Bellomo had been arrested on a gun charge stemming from circumstances that evolved when Bellomo's cousin of the same name, herein referred to as Liborio, was involved in a barroom shootout in the Bronx that resulted in the death of one of Liborio Bellomo's alleged attackers. Fearing retribution from the incident that involved his cousin Liborio, Bellomo began carrying a gun and was subsequently arrested after a car stop revealed the weapon. So, as we can see from the FBI file extracts, Peter Peluso was connected with many Genovese crime family mobsters, especially Anthony Fat Tony Salerno and Liborio Barney Bellomo. One interesting story that Peter Peluso told the authorities involved Anthony Salerno, the son of Anthony Fat Tony Salerno. In around 2003 or 2004, two Genovese crime family mobsters tried to muscle Fat Tony's son out of some business that he was trying to conduct. The FBI file states, Individual advised that he'd been told Anthony Salerno's, son of Anthony Fat Tony Salerno, store on 116th Street in Manhattan was up for rent. Individual understood that several people were interested in renting the store. There came a point in time, approximately 1 year ago, when the Individual was informed by Claudio the barber, Claudio Caponegro, that the kid, Salerno, was crying because Salerno was told by either Scope, Pasquale De Luca, or Artie, Arthur Negro, that although Salerno is the deed holder on the property, the store was not Salerno's to rent. Salerno was told that the store belonged to them. The man who told Peluso about the situation was Claudio the barber Caponegro, who had alleged connections with the Genovese crime family. Unsurprisingly, he was known as the Barber because he ran a barbershop in East Harlem on East 116th Street. As seen in the file, Claudio the Barber told Peter Peluso that Genovese soldier Pasquale Scope De Luca and Arthur Artie Negro, who was allegedly the acting captain of the famous 116th Street Crew, visited Fat Tony's son and told him that despite the fact that his name was on the deeds of the building, he couldn't rent it out because it belonged to them. Mob lawyer Peter Peluso met with Anthony Salerno, Fat Tony's son, and told him that he could rent out the building to whoever he wanted. Peter Peluso then met with Genovese soldier Pasquale Scope De Luca. The FBI file states, when Individual subsequently discussed the issue with Salerno, Individual advised Salerno to rent the units within the building to whomever Salerno wanted. Salerno informed Individual that they, Negro and De Luca, said Salerno could not rent the property. Upon learning of the situation, Individual visited De Luca, at which time De Luca advised Individual that De Luca and Negro were just looking out for Salerno's best interests. Individual informed De Luca that what was happening to Salerno was not right. As can be seen from Peluso's account, Pasquale De Luca and Arthur Negro play the innocent card and state that they are trying to help Salerno's son, which Peluso evidently doesn't believe, as he then goes to visit Liborio Barney Bellomo in prison to inform him about what is happening. Through the years before his incarceration in early 1997, in Barney Bellomo's criminal career, he had served as the captain of the 116th Street Crew, and then also as the acting boss of the Genovese crime family, despite his young age. The FBI file details the prison meeting between Peter Peluso and Barney Bellomo. Individual then visited Barney Bellomo in prison with the intention of solidifying his message to Scope. Individual then related the story to Bellomo, and in doing so received Bellomo's backing because Bellomo agreed with Individual that no one should bother the kid. Individual has visited Bellomo on numerous occasions since Bellomo has been incarcerated. The file also states, Bellomo informed Individual that Bellomo did not want this type of situation to occur to Bellomo's children if Bellomo were not around. Liborio Barney Bellomo still carried weight in prison, and his statement that he would not wish for people to try and take advantage of his children if he wasn't there is interesting, as it could be said that there were mobsters such as Pasquale De Luca and Arthur Negro who display little respect for the families of mobsters such as Anthony Fat Tony Salerno after they have died. Claudio the Barber Caponegro also reported to Peter Peluso that Pasquale De Luca and Arthur Negro had been rough with Fat Tony's son, and that Anthony Salerno had said this too. But Salerno later recanted this story, perhaps because he was too ashamed to admit that he'd been pushed around. The FBI file states, Individual advised that on various occasions Salerno and Claudio the Barber both described of Salerno being held in a headlock by De Luca and Negro. However, Individual further advised that Salerno later denied it happened. Individual opined that Salerno's denial was caused by embarrassment. Fat Tony's son was subsequently left alone after Barney Bellomo's word reached the streets. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts on this story from Peter Peluso. I hope you found it interesting. Thanks for watching.